in the morning. This is where I slept. The truck stop was full. But just a couple miles down the road, here's kind of a rest area, but the rest area has no overnight parking. Guess what? Just packed with trucks anyway. Because we're out of hours. And hey look, there's a safe parking spot. We're parking there. There's actually a law that allows truckers to park in places that say no parking, just for a reset. At least in BC. I don't know if that's a federal law or just a Canadian federal law, if it's a US law. We all do it anyway. All the places where it says no overnight parking, big rigs get away with it. RVs, they don't get away with it as much. So that was the Snoqualmie Summit. We're headed east on I-90. See if we can deliver this thing today. It'll be tight. I need to stop for fuel and stop at the border. So there'll be 2 delays for sure. So probably 1:30. And tomorrow is a holiday, so hopefully they don't close early. If I can't deliver today, hopefully I can deliver tomorrow morning. But tomorrow's a holiday. Are they going to be open? Maybe. Luckily it's only, what, 2.5 hours from home? If they're not, I'm just bobtailing home and waiting till they open back on Friday. But if things go right, I'll make the delivery today. I'm guessing 1:30, so they should still be receiving by 1:30, so should be okay. Might mean I have to skip the lunch or have to take a late lunch, but well, where I slept is better than sleeping on the side of the highway like this. But it was nice and cool sleeping on top of a mountain like this. That was nice. 17 degrees Celsius on the top. Feels cold enough that I'm tempted to turn the heat on. I'm like, nope, it's going to be hot enough. It'll be hot soon enough, but just keep it cold. We'll turn the AC off, but it's going to be itself up soon enough. So you guys are telling me that it's hot enough in Canada we are making worldwide news. BC was the hottest place in North America yesterday, the day before, so a couple of days in a row it beat a record. Like I was saying yesterday, it was a little bit cooler for me yesterday. I asked Jess and she goes, it was actually hotter for her. So hopefully that the fact that I was cooler over here means that dome is moving along. That might cool down a little bit. We'll see. Lake up here. I guess it's for irrigation and flood control because there's no electricity dam in this lake. The way it looks like to me, it looks like there probably used to be a lake here. They just made the lake bigger by putting a dam up. Honestly, all these reservoirs, they're all looking low for this time of year. Excuse me. Barefoot in sandals. This kind of colder temperature always gets me. Looks like it's going to be a hazy morning again. Just says there's quite a few wildfires going. There was some dry lightning last few days, so fire bans are in effect now. Not even campfires are allowed. It's just usually we have fire bans on campfires and stuff like that, but not usually this early in the year. Now last year, never got full fire bans. We could do campfires year-round last year. Last year was a particularly wet year. This year it was a particularly dry year. Caught up with a truck just as we're going from 3 to 2 lanes. Wow, 6. Well, I don't know if it would be 6 lane. Is the other side 3 lane as well? You know what I mean. On this June 30th. We're northbound on 97, a bit north of Wenatchee. Man, some of those apples are starting to get red. That's not too far away from picking apples. That seems really early. I wonder if extreme heat has done that. 28 degrees Celsius. 8 in the morning, 28 degrees. I've got the AC on very low setting already. Irrigation is still going. Guessing most of the irrigation is probably going overnight. During the day, it's just going to burn the trees or burn the crop or whatever, and evaporate right away in this extreme heat, dry heat. Got those LED warning signs on the road. They put whatever messages on them, the sign message boards. They're all warning extreme heat, use caution, high fire danger. I'm like, yep, this is true. I never realized there's a little airport down there. Huh. What if it's like a private airport? Just a little strip with one windsock. all the mountains, real depth. I kind of like it. A little bit of smoke in the air makes everything a little prettier, or different at least. Not a good thing that there's smoke in the air, but it gives everything a different feel to it. Maybe that's why you think it's prettier, because you notice things as different. Is that what we find beautiful? Things that are different? Maybe. Something unique. Well, we made it across the border. Antler Beach. Welcome to historic Peachland. And yes, that is fairly thick smoke we are seeing in the background. Highway to be standing on the side of the road like that. Driving on the Okanagan Lake. Little waves on the lake. The water looks really clear because I can look deep into the water, see all the rocks in the water, but it is pretty smoky. Got a surprise for you guys coming up. I don't know if today or tomorrow, but surprise coming up. Looking forward to that. It's exciting for me. So, we're headed for Vernon. There were some issues with paperwork at the border, so it took a little extra time there. Headed for Vernon. I should get there around 2-ish, maybe a little after 2, depending how bad the traffic is. Hopefully not later than 2:30. And get this unloaded there. Hopefully within the hour. And then I'm coming back. I'm not sure where I'm loading. I have to call someone an hour before I get to West Kelowna. So basically once I'm unloaded heading south of Vernon, I'm just going to call this person. And they have a yard I'm picking up. I don't know what I'm picking up. Something fairly light. They have a yard that's too small for me to fit into. So they're going to load it onto their smaller truck and meet me somewhere. So I don't know if it's in West Kelowna here or in Penticton. It sounds like it might be Penticton. I'll call them and then find out where to meet up, and we can move the stuff onto my trailers. And they want that delivered tomorrow morning in Trail. And then I'm picking up something from Klesnikoff going to somewhere, who knows where. So that's kind of the Friday, Saturday off, and then back to work on Sunday. So I'm okay with that. It's so darn hot. We were going to camp and we wanted a 4-day weekend. I wanted to be home tomorrow, tonight or tomorrow morning, and then take 4 days off. And I think I said that earlier in the week. I called the boss and said, you know what, if you got work for me, I'll just take it. It is too hot to be camping. The fan's going all the time because it has to keep the engine cool, or the radiator water cool. It's 37 degrees Celsius here. Definitely hot. Still not up to 44 or 45 like our max heat we've seen so far, but it's only 12:45, so still plenty of time for that to happen. That's a mini little peach on top of the huge golf club or golf tee. Definitely not a club, golf tee. And yes, it used to be a golf ball on top. It used to be a golf course up there. Eventually they repainted it and put a beach up there. Since we are in Beachland, line up in the mountain, you see an RV driving up there, that is the connector highway. It's the big 4-lane highway that connects us to the Coquihalla. And it's higher elevation than the Coquihalla. Been on that highway in July and had a snowstorm. I don't think that's going to happen this summer. It's a little too hot for that this summer. Yeah, there's a few fires. There's a small fire burning here in the Beachland area somewhere. I think 2 small ones burning. And then there's big ones burning in Kamloops. So I don't know if this smoke is from these small local fires here, or if this is coming in from Kamloops. Just, what, 2-hour drive from here? Give or take, just a guess off the top of my head. holding everybody back, so they're gonna have to all pass that RV first, and then they'll come past me. Drinking a lot of water. Drinking enough that I'm having a hard time keeping enough cold water in the fridge. As long as the water gets cooled down. I don't like lukewarm water, but ice cold water messes with my lungs, so I'm not keeping ice cold either. As of tomorrow, mandatory masks is no longer, well, masks are no longer mandatory, they're only optional. So we're still going to have to wear masks in a lot of places we go into, a lot of shipping and receiving places will be wearing masks, and if we go out of country or out of province, we'll probably still have to wear masks in a lot of places. But masks will no longer be mandatory. Enough people have been vaccinated here that the officials have decided to drop that requirement. I'm getting my next Coke in 2 weeks. No, a week and a bit. Saturday in a week and a bit. Made it the same weekend as I have the Monday off, the Monday morning off to get a tooth capped. That way I have, if I have side effects, I already have a little bit longer of a weekend to deal with said side effects. I don't know if my second shot will be Pfizer or Moderna. We'll just have to wait and see. Most likely it would be Moderna. That's what it seems like it's going, but we'll see. Welcome to West Kelowna. Ready. We'll let it cool off a little bit. Come on, green. Downhill, I could slam on and lock up the brakes, but we'll just go through. That one, well, as I was saying, then it turned red. Lots of red lights coming through West Kelowna and Kelowna. I think that's what makes the traffic so bad. There's no easy way of doing on and off ramps to alleviate that, other than building a highway around. And that's not easy either. You have to build a highway around in the mountains. And that'd be a bit of work. I'll catch up with you guys down the road. I'm gonna enjoy lots of traffic for the next 2 hours. 3 hours? Yeah. So I'm gonna go back up and then back down. Yep, that'd be fun. Okay. This has turned into an interesting day. So I called the customer in Vernon, let him know I'm coming in, and get the best directions to pull into the yard. He was like, we didn't order any wood pellets. Oh. Maybe you're trying to deliver them to so-and-so. Oh. Okay, there's 2 home hardwares in Vernon. Completely separate stores. But they both have the Home Hardware logo on it, so 2 separate owners, I guess? Franchises? Called dispatch to double check. I was 5 minutes away from the place before I finally got a confirmation. Yes, deliver to the other place. Gave you the wrong address. Okay. Luckily though, pulled in, they unloaded me right away, got out of there right away. Then I was supposed to come back here to West Kelowna. I'm supposed to call the customer an hour ahead of time to let him know I'm coming in, because he's going to come up from Penticton to pick up the load in West Kelowna. So I got that all confirmed. Called the customer an hour and a half before I'll be here. He says, okay, I'll meet you there at 4:30 at such and such an address. Okay, cool. That'll give me half an hour extra if all of a sudden the traffic is really bad, and if I'm early I can go make supper. And he calls me back 5 minutes later. I can't get a hold of the warehouse person. You guys have to give me more notice than an hour. I'm like, okay, I'm just the driver. He goes, it's not gonna work. I can't load you tonight. Okay, I will let my dispatch know and go from there. So, when can you load me? I'm like, I don't know. You'd have to talk to dispatch. I don't know when. He goes, when are you coming through town next? I'm like,
Hi Juan, you will just go LAODKLC tomorrow. Thank you, Tammy.
Got a message there from dispatch. Just gonna load at KLC tomorrow. KLC, okay, bless the company. Too late guess I could do a U-turn here somewhere and take Highway 33, but I'm going home. This load has obviously fallen through and doesn't work out. I suggested going home and then coming back and loading in tomorrow morning, and they're like, no, this is a really... we can't make any kind of detours for this load because it pays virtually nothing. It goes... coming back over here would cost the amount of fuel as loading is what they would make off the load. So it has to be one of those coming through town anyway to pick up the load. So I'm gonna go home, take a shower, and then head out to Plesnikoff. I'll have, what, 2 hours? I get 2 hours down the road. It's about 3.5 away, so tomorrow morning have an hour and a half to drive, get in there, load, and then tomorrow is Canada Day, so the mill is open on Canada Day, but the place I'm delivering is closed on Canada Day but open on Friday. So I'm gonna work tomorrow and Friday, and then I guess I come home for Saturday. Sunday probably Sunday evening, I'll head back down to Plesnikoff to load again. Depending on where that next load's going, either Sunday evening or Monday morning. So I'll have Saturday and at least part of Sunday off. At least it seems like a new plan. Unless they have a load for me coming out of Vancouver Friday morning, which they may. It's all so fluid right now. When plans change and fall through, all of a sudden everything that's happening in the future is all fluid. Nothing is for sure. So for sure we know I'm headed home right now, take my off-duty time, and then I'll drive a few hours to get to Plesnikoff, load there tomorrow morning. And then we're headed to Vancouver, or Richmond, for Friday morning delivery. That we know for sure. Until that changes too. Yay, Kelowna traffic. It is 4 p.m. So I would have been early. I've had 15 minutes or so to wait for it. Two more red lights and we're out of Kelowna. The second one there just turned green. Says 49.5 Celsius right now. suspended bridge, floating bridge. It just floats on top of the water. There's no piers going down into the water. Well, there are piers at the very ends, and this end's got some piers. But even here, most of these piers over this hill here are floating piers. So 95% of this bridge just floats on the lake. It's got some kind of world record. At least it did when it was built. I don't know if it still does. The widest floating bridge in the world or something like that. This week. You guys don't mind the same roads over and over. Don't touch that. Leave that the way it is. You've got everything in the right place. Stop touching stuff.
I was going to say it's a little bit different this time.
It's a little bit different this time. Surprise!
Surprise, surprise.
Jess didn't know she'd be here either.
I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. and it occurred to me again. And I was in I will get back home stuff.
You have to get up at 5 in the morning tomorrow.
That's okay. I have to be at 4 this morning. I have to go to bed at 1, so it's all good.
Yeah, we'll be in bed by 9. That mirror is messed up again.
That wasn't me.
Why is that mirror messed up again? I swear it's the curved mirror pushing against that mirror. Slowly it's messed up. Unless your door's not all the way closed. It sounds like it's closed.
You did open it.
I did open it. Well, maybe when I slammed it, the mirror moved. Up and down on those mirrors, just side to side. Old school, but electric still. Yeah. First time Jess has had a ride in this truck.
Yeah. So far, I'm impressed. I even got dinner and paid by you.
Yeah, we had a burger just here, just north of Osoyoos. We both had a burger. Not often I have a chance of making a meal for her.
You just didn't say that I'm with you.
I was just hungry.
No. I'd rather go the sweet and romantic one.
I'm just hungry and I haven't trained you how to make a burger yet. Nothing romantic going on here. Oh man, am I buggering it all up?
I'm just gonna act like tomorrow I don't know how to do things. The day after I do.
Just act like you don't know how to do anything. This truck is so loud today, the fan just is not turning off. I think it's running the AC in here. Stopping at home and letting the truck sit at home made the whole truck so hot it's having a hard time cooling the inside off. So I think the AC is partly why the fan's not turning off.
I don't think I was, so maybe.
And in this kind of temperature, I idle the truck when loading and unloading. Unless it's going to be a long time. And even then, I'll only shut it down if I have a place to go that I can be relatively cool. If I have to sit in the bright sunlight, no, I'm going to sit in an AC truck before that. It's too hot. Don't need heat stroke. one that's on the side of the seat that's a really not a very strong one, so pretty much have to fold it up every time she wants to move. As long as every time we stop, take the drink out, fold it up, we should be okay. If it breaks, we'll figure something else out. Not a whole lot of people out because it's too hot.
You were surprised at hot of it still.
Well, I kind of had it nice and cool yesterday, and then I come over here. It says 43 degrees Celsius here right now. Jet ski on the water. There's lots of boats out. Yeah, it's probably going to be a very busy town starting tomorrow. So yeah, we're headed to Klesnikov. We'll get there tomorrow morning, probably around 7-ish, give or take.
He said, I guess he's got it.
Load. We're not even loading in the right yard to see Scotty anyway, so.
The chance.
One of the forklift drivers, he's on vacation. He's a pretty awesome dude.
Yeah, we're loading tomorrow.
And heading to the coast. Simple run. Simple, boring run. People sitting in the shade there. These people are probably jumping off the bridge into the water, which is not allowed because boats go underneath there. Every now and then someone, instead of hitting the water, they hit a boat. Nobody enforces it though. I think the signing is just for legal purposes, and then most of the time the people jumping have a spotter, so it's relatively safe. Fully loaded, I don't know if it's a Tridem or quad axle climbing the hill.
So we can see the osprey nest, but I don't know what's in the door.
Never seen one yet.
It's on YouTube.
Osprey nest on YouTube.
Yeah, they have 3 little fluffy birds in the nest. I don't know the name.
So you said it's supposed to start getting cooler tomorrow?
Well, every
Just
day,
like
but
every day, just a little bit cooler, a couple degrees.
it should be like 34 though. Tomorrow's that thunderstorm versus.
I doubt it.
Well, I'm checking stray lightning. Well, I got dry lightning. It started 3 fires.
Yeah, it's definitely less smoky down here than up there.
When a Kamloops says evacuation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that close to town?
Parts of community, yeah. It's 4,000 acres.
4,000 hectares.
Yeah.
Hectares? Hectares? I can't even say the word right now. That's a big fire. That's a huge fire.
I think one of the Lillywet.
Lillywet.
One of those is 5,000.
One of those is 5,000 hectares.
Yeah. There's a couple of big fires. It's so long since I've been this way.
once in between short little run.
Very short run somewhere.
Oh, the big brake's almost to that first hairpin. What?
I'd say hopefully the microphone picks me up.
Well, not if you talk that quiet. Start yelling.
I have two modes, quiet or yell. Or when I get excited and I talk too fast.
Aren't you excited?
Very.
All the boats are on the Canadian side. The U.S. side has no boats.
Where?
In the U.S. side, this is not the warmest lake in the area.
True.
On the Canadian side, it's the warmest lake in Canada. Well, Christina Lake says the same thing, but yeah. It's one of the two warmest lakes in Canada, so that's why it gets really busy on the Canadian side. Since they can't cross the border, the warmest place to come is here. I don't think they were banking on it being this warm, though.
And like we're not even as warm as Clinton though.
And poor tourists think this is the way it's always over here. Oh, these guys are not going to like this. I'm doing it anyway. To watch for oncoming traffic. Please don't run into the ditch. I'm staying in my lane. You stay in your lane. We're okay.
Properly in the ditch.
So I'm staying in my lane. You don't need to drive in the ditch. I told you they wouldn't like it.
Oh man.
There's a lot of tourists in the area, so they don't know how to drive the road over here. I don't really blame them. I won't move the camera yet because we got one more view that way. This corner I would never double up because exactly what that truck's going to do. His trailer tires are going to come across the yellow line. Yep. There's nothing you can do about it. His trailer tires come across the yellow line. Aside from the little RV, it's coming up to this viewpoint.
I can't blame them. It's beautiful.
I would do the same thing.
Well, this time of day is not really depth. You can't really.
It's a spectacular viewpoint.
I think he's longing for the U.S. too.
Looking down to the U.S.
Yeah.
When I was crossing the border, there was an RV that they turned around. And they didn't know the border was closed.
I don't understand that.
I asked him if they get a lot of them, and he goes, depends on the day. He goes, some days you get more than others, but park over there, come on in, we'll figure this out. And he goes, oh, by the way, do you have anything else to declare? He forgot all the other questions. I'm like, nope, nothing else. We're good. All we have to worry about is that paperwork.
That was the pallets again.
No, this was with pellets.
Oh, yeah.
It was some kind of computer glitch on their end.
Starting to feel cold finally.
Yeah, there's a little bit of shade here, so it'll start feeling cool here pretty quick. I already turned the bunk AC is off already. And the truck fan's not running as much. It's dropped to 42 degrees Celsius. As soon as you gain altitude, it cools off right away. Something burned down here.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this is probably a long enough video as it is, so we'll probably leave it there.
We'll be here
Earlier in the
tomorrow.
week, we had that accident up a little bit further up the hill. I'm sure that's not there anymore. If it is, I'll leave that clip in. Other than that, thank you. You guys rock. And Jess will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.